Yeah.
Hi, Chance. How's it going today?
It's going all right.
I know that the last time that we met, we briefly spoke about your worries and anxieties about doing individual and group therapy. Did you want to go ahead and touch base about that today?
Yeah, so I've been at this internship for a couple of weeks now, and they told me in the beginning that I was gonna have to do groups, and I thought that would be an interesting learning experience, but I really wanted to do one-on-one because that's what I'm used to, that's what I'm comfortable with. And I did this one-on-one with this patient, and it was great. I was super excited. I was having so much fun. They were having fun. They were being responsive. They're being responsive. There was a lot of back and forth. And then at the end of that one-on-one, they told me, they said, "Wow, this is so amazing. You really helped me get through some things. Like, I really want to talk to you again another time. Like, can we set up something the next time you're here? I think that would be cool." And I was amped. I was through the roof, having such a good time. And then the next day, I I did my first group, and I'd watched some other groups, and they looked like they were going well, and people were participating. And then I did my group, and I only had like three people there. There was like a lot of one-word answers, and I was just feeling like it. Like, am I even good at this? Like, should I be doing this?
Yeah, definitely. I'm hearing a lot of what your fear is kind of stemming from, maybe from not receiving that same feedback that you're getting in individual therapy. Am I correct?
Yeah, like I just didn't feel that amped up. And then I was just thinking, like, okay, well, what if they like somebody I did individual with came to one of my groups, and then they see my group flop, and then they're like, I don't want to talk to that social worker anymore. I don't want to do one-on-ones. Like, that must have been a fluke. Like, clearly they're bad at this. So maybe I'm just maybe I'm just bad at it. Maybe I just shouldn't be doing it, but I have to do it. So I don't know.
All right, so let's try to reframe a little bit about what I'm hearing. So it looks like you're getting a lot of positive feedback with your one-on-one clients. So in that case, what do you think makes it great? Like, does it take time for you to build a relationship with those clients, you think?
Yeah, yeah, probably. I think it's really, you know, I actually talked to my mom. I talked to my mom about the first client, and I told her about like how excited I was, and then my mom told me that even when that person said, "Oh, this was amazing, you're great," my mom told me like maybe they were just manipulating you and lying to you and trying to make you feel better about yourself. So now I'm wondering if what I did wasn't even that good. So
So, from receiving the positive feedback, when you can try to think back about the qualities that you actually really bring forth to the session, let's try to focus on those a little bit more. What are the qualities that you like about yourself in the session when you're clicking with your patient?
well, it's like this one-on-one conversation. We're talking back and forth, listening. They're actively engaging with me. I feel good about it. I feel comfortable. I feel like there's a connection there. But when I'm in a group, I feel like all the eyes are on me, and I sometimes when they're talking, then I'm waiting for them to say something so that I can respond to them, but then I get anxious about it, and I don't know what to say to them in the group. But in the one-on-ones, it's just like it's easy. It's easy to go back and forth, and in the groups, it's not. I feel like I have to talk to like 10 people at once, which I don't think I can do.
So it is a little bit challenging, right, to move from individual therapy where you're getting that one-on-one time with a person and you're able to connect in an easier setting, it seems like. But when you're in a group setting, it's completely new. It's a little bit challenging, not just for you, but it's probably a little challenging for the clients as well. So even though you're not receiving that feedback, that you just had one-on-one, I think it would be helpful to be a little bit mindful of the fact that, building relationships take time. So even though you're a little bit nervous in that group setting because you're not automatically getting that feedback, they're probably a little bit nervous with you too. So even though they may not be participating or, actively kind of speaking or giving that feedback, it's something that will probably come within time. So, that's why it's really important to focus on the good qualities that you bring to like individual sessions. If you could think about what you do well and comparing them to the irrational beliefs, what do you think you can compare and contrast from the individual and group settings?
I never really thought that they were nervous too, and maybe it was just I had to click with one person, because I've had other one-on-ones where it didn't go as well. So I think that I just need to hold on to that positive, right? That's a positive interaction that I had, and then realize that it's not going to be great every time, but if I take the time and put it in building those relationships, that I'll get that positive feedback. Maybe I'll feel good about a group.
Yeah, definitely. And even though, as individuals, we may connect with one person automatically, there's a lot of situations, whether it's in group therapy, individual therapy, even with our friends or family members, it takes time, right? To kind of get to know someone, to kind of get to know their personalities a little bit more. And then the more you continue to, be patient with them and yourself, the easier it kind of gets, right? Because you're able to kind of get to know them a little bit more. They're able to kind of be comfortable with you and like the people around them. So I think instead of, backtracking and thinking about those negative thoughts, it'll be super helpful in the future to kind of be like, hey, things take time. The way that I was able to connect with this other client is not going to happen automatically every single time, but let me hold on to the situations where I'm like experiencing all this great feedback and know that I'm going to get there with group settings or other future individual clients. How does that sound? What do you think you can say in the next type of session that if you're not getting that automatic feedback, what do you think you could tell yourself for future?
I actually love that. So I be patient, treat it like any other relationship, right? Because we don't always know everybody that we meet. It takes time, when you meet a stranger, you don't know everything about them. There's not a great feeling after, weird, awkward conversations. And I'm bringing some heavy content, so maybe they're just reflecting, and I'm worried about it because I'm not hearing what they're thinking. But I got to remember I'm not a mind reader, right? And then just hope for positive feedback in the future, and maybe just know that when I'm up there and I'm talking with them and having a conversation, they hear me.
Yeah, definitely. I think take some time to kind of just, it'll definitely be helpful for future to focus on all the good qualities you bring. At the end of the day, you're the one that is helping all these people, and, the feedback, sometimes it takes time. So try to be a little bit more understanding with yourself, so that way you don't jump to those negative conclusions right away. Because at the end of the day, you are getting that positive feedback. So the more you're able to kind of, focus on the good that you bring, the easier it'll kind of get. And just know that transitions are a little challenging and a little uncomfortable sometimes, but doesn't mean you're always, doing something negative that our mind usually tries to jump to when we're uncomfortable ourselves.
Thank you. That
Yeah,
makes
no
sense.
problem. Yeah, I think
I'll
so.
give it a shot. I'll try.
Sounds good. Yeah, try. And then we'll go ahead and touch base again next time. And I'm really excited to kind of hear about, your other group session that you have coming up.
Great. I look forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any questions or anything today?
No, I think I'm good. This was
Awesome.
helpful.
Awesome. I'm excited to meet with you next time. And thanks for coming back today. And I look forward to hearing about your next sessions.
All right, I'll see you soon.
All right. Sounds good.